Hello and welcome to a constructed video on MTG Arena. Today I'm doing what is my favorite thing to do in a new standard format. I picked my favorite black card that costs 4 mana and I'm shoving it into a mid-range deck. I love playing these mid-range decks where you can get in under a control deck and aggro them out, or you just go bigger and outmuscle the aggro decks with your bigger, more relevant cards. Doesn't always work out if you can't predict what your opponents are likely to be doing, but I always have a good time anyway. Most of this deck is pretty standard. Bolas seems like the perfect card for a mid-range deck. It's an efficient threat. A 4/4 flyer for 4 is no joke. It will kill people. And it's guaranteed card advantage with the ETB effect, so even if they kill it, you're still up, which is great. And it has a you win the game button. If you ever flip it, this card just seems unreal. This is like one of the best planeswalkers ever on the other side. So definitely interested in what Bolas is going to do. Then we've got a lot of interaction, duress, and supreme will for interacting with non-creature threats or people who play to the hand or the stack. Fatal Push, Abrade, Harness Lightning, and Vraska's Contempt for playing to the board. I really think 4 Vraska's Contempt is great right now. There are just a lot of things that you want to be able to take care of that way. And then threats that provide card advantage or win the game. Glint Sleeve Siphoner, Whirler Virtuoso, Bolas, the Scarab God, and a 1/of Angrath the Flame Chained. I've been considering even getting like a Chandra Torch of Defiance in this deck, because I really do like Search for Azcanta. The card filtering is great. You even get more out of it in this type of deck, where you have cards like Duress or Fatal Push that are either incredible or dead. This Scry is just a lot more valuable than in some decks where all your cards are about the same value. The only problem with Search for Azcanta is that it can't find threats that actually win the game very easily in this deck. It's pretty much Angrath, and that's it. So you kind of just have to draw reactive cards and hope that you can bury your opponent with card advantage. So maybe the deck wants like a Chandra or a Liliana, Death's Majesty, because those can also win the game even without other help, but we'll see. I've liked it okay. Sideboard is pretty standard mid-range fare. You have things like Duress and Negate for the control matchups, Moment of Craving and Abrade for the aggro matchups, and then some more narrow reactive cards like Plague Mare. I've run into a lot of blue-black Godpharaoh's Gift recently, and I think being able to fight them on the graveyard axis would be good. I would love to be able to play like Nile Spellbomb, but that's not in standard, so I think Scavenger Grounds is about as close as we're going to get. We'll see. This might not be the best way to interact with them, but I'm certainly going to try. That's all for the deck. I like the look of it so far, so I'm going to jump into a competitive constructed, and we'll see how it does. I attempted to record with this deck once already. It went okay. I think I went like 3-1 in the matches I played, but the audio messed up, so those matches unfortunately will not see the light of day. Still, I'm hopeful that things will work out this time. Okay. Yeah, we have avatars on MTG Arena now, which is sweet. No more Infinite Teferi versus Jaya Ballard. One thing that's kind of funny is all of the avatars that they added to the game are planeswalkers, and so even though the first 2 avatars in this game were Joyra and Demon Lord Belzenlock, you actually can't choose those as your avatars anymore. This is pretty easy mulligan, just don't have enough lands. Has enough lands. I hope my opponent's playing some sort of aggro deck, so these cards are good. Ugh, not having a red is actually pretty bad, but I can find it with Field of Ruin. I'm actually going to keep that on top. I'm on the draw, so I get to play this turn 1, and then my mana is just great. Okay, Swamp. I'm not super in love with draws like this, because a key part of midrange is that... Okay, it's a good card. I'm glad I have an Abrade. Key part of playing midrange is that you need to be able to shift gears and play to what the game is doing. If my opponent had led on Meandering River, I would be very upset that I don't have a way to apply pressure and try to close out the game. Sure. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and abrade this Heart of Kiran. Hopefully, I will gradually take over this game, draw one of my big threats like Bolas or the Scarab God or something. This is fine. I really do need to draw something, so I might even look to take 3 here and dig with Supreme Will, depending on what my opponent does. So I can answer individual threats, but I need to find a way to take over the game. My deck doesn't have, like, Glimmer of Genius, so I can't just turn around and start... I can't turn around the game with one card. I can't draw a whole bunch and then kill their guys and have a threat. I need my individual cards to be good. That is a lot of pressure, but if I Supreme Will here, I'll be able to double kill spell next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh. Well. I wish that didn't come in the middle of a game, but okay. Huh. So I've got a few options here. Whirler Virtuoso is okay, but not great. I think I want the Contempt, because this... Awesome. Okay, now we have a plan. What I can do here... I was a little worried about using these 2 kill spells, because then they can exile one to bring back the other, and I haven't actually made much headway on the board. But now what I can do is I can Vraska's Contempt one, or just kill one of them, and then play the Scarab God and reanimate it, not letting them get it back. I think this turn I'm probably just going to Contempt. If I keep hitting my land drops, I can play this on turn 5, and then on turn 6... Abrade plus reanimate with Scarab God to bring back the other one. Okay. This is good play from my opponent. They're not likely to have a target for that Fatal Push. This denies me 2 life and also gives them the chance to bring back this guy later. Alright. This is a somewhat annoying card to deal with. I think a lot of this game now is going to come down to whether or not my opponent can answer this Scarab God. I'm just going to slam it. I don't think messing around with these is how I'm going to win this game. Please, no answer. Just have like a bunch of knights or something. Hell, even more History of Benalias aren't that hard to beat with removal plus my big 5/5. They also might look to just Deadlands this, because then their attacks get better. Ooh, this is really good for me. If I can get them... Yeah, they tapped low. Really want to hit a land here, because then I can kill Knight of Malice, and then bring it back with Scarab God, and it's just going to brick wall their board really hard. Importantly, I need to do this, like, in the immediate, because if they get to untap, then at any time that I attempt to Scarab God the Knight of Malice, they can activate Scrap Heap Scrounger to exile the Knight, and then I won't get it. Come on, land. Damn it. Well, that's mighty unfortunate. I think... it saves energy to kill Knight of Malice now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I can use one of my energy to abrade a different threat. Another option is to Field of Ruin this Ifnir Deadlands, so they can't use their turn to shrink my Scarab God. But I think I would rather just keep things off the table. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage even if I do that. Like, they can just let one of their guys die and hit me for 1,000,000. Sure. See what they do with their turn here. I think I'm still in okay shape. I think the Scarab God is going to take over this game, but I'm going to be losing a lot of life here, which is kind of scary. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to block the Scarab God on here. This will give my opponent the opportunity to kill my Scarab God if they want by if near deadlandsing on it. But that takes their entire turn, I don't take much damage, and the Scarab God comes back so I can just play it again. Oh, okay, never mind, this is actually much worse for me. Well, I suppose it's like the same, they just get to keep the if near deadlands on the table. It's kind of whatever. Let's see what I draw for turn. I think I'm going to just play the Scarab God again. There's some argument to Vraska's contempting this Scrap Heap Scrounger, but now what I can do is next turn I can Contempt and Harness Lightning, or Harness Lightning plus Scarab God, and that'll use my mana more efficiently, assuming I finally draw a 6th land. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why this card is so messed up. I haven't even gotten to activate it yet, but I don't even have to. Like, just continuously pressuring, eating my opponent's creatures and trading with them is more than enough out of this card because it keeps coming back. Okay, sure. They attack with both, I'll definitely block this. Yeah, that's what I thought. They left up 2 mana, so I still can't activate the Scarab God properly. Okay, that's a good draw. Again, there's some argument for Field of Ruining to get these off the table, but I don't think that's the best use of my mana or whatever. Then I think I'm actually going to main phase go for this Walking Ballista. They will probably just double ping me. Because if this Walking Ballista dies, I won't get my energy, and I suppose I should have done that first, because this very clearly shows them that I have an outlet for the energy. I have something good to do with it, but yeah, that was a mistake, but oh well. This was the correct play anyway, but they might not have thought of it. Okay. This fizzles, but I think I'm in pretty reasonable shape now. Opponent was probably hoping to get back the Scrounger, untap, then they could pump Ballista, and then like they'd have a pretty solid board. But now with the Whirler Virtuoso, I think I've got this game mostly locked up. Yep. Oh. That, I think, was a mistake. They might not get punished for it if they don't draw anything to do this turn. They really wanted to exile this card, because they don't have any way to reanimate their own creatures. At least I don't think they do. It seems weird to me. I'm just going to go ahead and aggressively trade off here. If they want to use their whole turn to kill this guy, that's fine with me. Okay, that's not what they wanted to do. Wow, weird. So if things had gone differently, like I was saying, they really wanted to get this out of their graveyard because the Scarab God... Oh, I should have... Yeah. This was a mistake on my part. I should have set an upkeep stop, and with this trigger on the stack, reanimated Whirler Virtuoso, because that's my best play anyway. It's really surprising to me that they're opting to just rebuy a bunch of Scroungers when they know that I'm going to be able to reanimate the Whirler Virtuoso. I thought their plan there was to trade with my Virtuoso and then use this to keep this guy off the board for another turn, but... Wow, and they didn't even reanimate their Scroungers. I really don't know what's going on here. They've got, like, extra stuff, right? I suppose they could at least reanimate one. Sure. Karn is fine. Scrap Heap Scrounger is very bad at protecting Karn, Scion of Urza. I will give them that swamp. Karn is a really awkward card because his +1 essentially reads draw one bad card for turn. My graveyard, since they can't get rid of these with Scrap Heap Scrounger. Again, I still can't really target their knight because they have these up and they can respond by getting the knight out of there, so I won't be able to get a Scarab God. Yep. Interesting that they did that there. So, interesting difference between these cards. If you look, the colon is after the mana cost on the Scarab Gods. So you can respond to his ability by getting rid of the target. The colon on here is after exile another target creature card from a graveyard. Exiling the creature is part of the cost, so it can't be responded to. If my opponent activates Scrap Heap Scrounger, I can't activate Scarab God to get rid of their creature to try to stop what they were doing. So, I think I'm actually just going to burn this Vraska's Contempt here. Oh, this tapping was unfortunate. I'm gonna have to lose an energy. Oops. This might be too passive, but I'm just gonna pass the turn again. I don't think I can lose except by making a mistake, like if they kill this guy and then aggro me out because I'm trying to attack with the Scarab God too much. Like, these knights are just so irrelevant compared to the card advantage I'm gonna keep generating here. I'll probably use their If Near Deadlands because they just don't have anything else to do. See, I've got plenty of cards in the yard, so I'm going to flip this and start activating Search for Azcanta as well. Feeling pretty good about this game. Sure. Wasn't expecting any attacks. Let me go ahead and make my Thopter here. Sure, I don't think this matters too much. Go ahead and put that in the graveyard. I don't really want that. Don't want that either. So, I'm actually going to activate the Scarab God here. Because the Scrap Heap Scrounger is alone and they're tapped out, I can go ahead and get rid of that one forever. So then, I will attack with a couple Thopters. I think this is fine. Opponent's attack's still bad. I will start attacking with the Scrap Heap Scrounger since it doesn't do anything else. It doesn't block, but sure, Shafet Dunes. This is good because I have commit in case anything starts to go wrong, or I can just, if nothing happens, I can just activate Azcanta the Sunken Ruin. Yep, they get my guy. That's fine. See, their attacks still weren't good because I can only block one. But then they know that I get to eat that Scrounger, and so it's gone forever, and that's really not what they can allow to happen. Cool. I would have preferred to get Bolas, but that's not how Azcanta works. Angrath is totally acceptable. Oh. Dang, I'm 1 mana short of getting really fancy here. It would be nice if I could take this, sacrifice it, and then bring it back with Scarab God. As is, I think I am just going to...
Please run. Your crew for my freedom. A fair price.
This is awesome because it'll get in a few more damage and the history of Benalia will be significantly blunted. And I'm even leaving up Fatal Push to make sure that they can't actually threaten me. This game is pretty wrapped up. Okay. Finally, it was actually a mistake. I should have Field of Ruin to the Ifnir Deadlands, because then I can get my basic Swamp, and I can still have Fatal Push up. And I'm not doing anything else with these 3 mana. Yeah. My Swamp is still in my deck. Yep, so that was actually a mistake. Sure, shrink my guy. Let's see. If I Fatal Push this and take 6, go to 5, dealing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Yeah, I've got them dead, so. And that's even, I've even got 2 in the bank with Angrath as well. Commit can get rid of any creature that they put in the way to try to block. Man, this was a long game that was hard to close, but it looks like we finally got there, so that's cool. Okay, opponent playing Black-White Knights. What is good here? Gonti is good. These are good against Scrap Heap Scroungers, but they're only okay. I don't think that's worth it. Plague Mare, not good enough. Need to... If these were Golden Demises, that would be better, but... What is bad? I think Duress is just okay. Grabbing History of Benalia is great. Otherwise, it's not so great. I think in general, I just kind of like this. I could see an argument for cutting the Siphoners. I might have a hard time attacking with them, but I don't love anything in my sideboard enough. Maybe trim 1 for an Abrade, because these can kill both Knights. Sure, I think this'll do. Goes first again, that's cool. It is funny that a lot of people, again, have to mulligan a 1-lander, that sucks, and is much better. I will bottom this. If I need lands, they need to be untapped lands. All these tapped duels are not helping. Oh, but a lot of people got somewhat upset because MTG Arena does not ask you if you would like to play first. It's just, if you have the priority and the choice, you play first. Hopefully Black Knight, that's fine. I can Fatal Push that too. Oh, but yeah, it doesn't ask, it just does it. But then Wizards just pointed out that people almost always choose to play first, and when they don't, they're almost always wrong. So they're really just doing you a favor. There are some formats where people choose to draw, but it's generally not a great decision. Okay. Alright, falling a little bit behind here. Gonti is a good draw. I do need to find another land, though. I'm going to opt into taking some damage here. Harness Lightning isn't even that great, because then they can start rebuying these. But if I can hit my land drop, then Gonti will be awesome. Start generating game-winning card advantage. What do they got here? And a Johnny would be really scary. This is annoying, but less scary. I will put that in the graveyard. Need to draw a land. If I don't draw a land, yeah. Okay, now definitely I'm just going to pass. Glint-Sleeve Siphoner, obviously very bad into Walking Ballista. I'm just going to look to Harness Lightning, probably this. I'll give them a chance to do whatever they want, though. And then Fatal Push something else. I think I can take 5 here to make sure that these decisions are fully informed. If they attempt to grow this, I'm going to kill it. Wait. Let's make sure this doesn't tap me poorly. I forgot to check. They'll shoot me for 2, I'll go to 15, and then I get to Harness Lightning and they can't immediately bring anything back. Just doing this now so I don't have to deal with getting priority for the rest of the turn. This was great for me. They spent 2 entire turns on this Walking Ballista, and it's just going to deal 2 damage. That's awesome. Sweet. That's exactly what I want. Awesome. I love this card. I love this card so much. It's so much fun. None of these are great. I don't actually want these, because then if they end up dying, my opponent gets them, and that's bad for me. So I'm just going to take this Duress. Next turn I can Duress into Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Or just play the Scarab God. Feeling reasonably good about this game. I think I'm like 75% to win, something like that. Okay, that card's annoying, but that's fine. I think I need to put that in the graveyard. It doesn't answer what's going on here. Ooh. I really wish I had a land so I could Duress plus Bolas. I think I'm just going to play the Bolas, actually, just because it's the only thing that actually blocks this Knight of Grace. I kind of love that effect. It's so cool. No attackers. I will freely trade Gonti with Scrap Heap Scrounger. That's fine. Hopefully this blocks. Oh no! That is almost certainly going to name the Scarab God. And hopefully their last card is not something that can interact with Bolas. But yeah, I had the option of Duress plus Siphoner, but that's like opting into taking a bunch of damage off this Knight of Grace, whereas I really just wanted to start locking up the board. They brought in the Scavenger Grounds. They might want to crack that soon, because I am... sure. I'm assuming... Yeah, this name's the Scarab God. But the thing about the Scarab God is you don't need to activate the Scarab God for this to be a fine card. Because now I have a 5/5 that will keep coming back forever, and I can start beating them down with my dragon. Hold on a sec. My opponent only has the one... Oh, I can't activate the Scarab God. What am I doing? Put that in the graveyard. Don't want it. Unfortunately, don't have any other zombies, so that's not going to happen. Opponent probably wants to crack this Scavenger Ground soon. If I get another turn, I'll get to Azcanta. They might be looking for this to die and then get their value off the Scrap Heap Scrounger, though. Because, yeah, this hits both players, so they will lose their Scrap Heap here. Totally fine. Let's go ahead and Duress. I have enough mana to do everything. Yeah. That's kind of funny. I'm actually just going to go on the offensive here. Because this can't block, so my opponent is on a very short clock now. This was an awesome draw. Shut down their aggro, got rid of a card, and has just applied a lot of pressure. It's like the flip ability didn't matter, and the discard didn't really matter because they just pitched a land. Technically, this order is wrong, but they're just super dead, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, a whole bunch of this card's text was irrelevant, and it was still exactly what I needed, and killed my opponent very efficiently. So yeah, that was much easier than the first game, and I'm happy with that win. Go ahead and get on to match 2. Okay, we are against someone with a Jace avatar. Going in for match 2 with Grixis Midrange. I get to go first. Man, these one-landers. This is brutal. Playing 25, this type of deck often wants 26. Seems good. I'd like a 4th land, but I think that's fine. Yeah, this type of deck often wants 26 lands. Got a little bit of card filtering and card draw. That means we need it less between Search for Azcanta and Supreme Will, and then what's it called? Glintleaf Siphoner. That card draws you cards, even if you're short on mana. So I think 25 is right. Okay. Opponent not doing anything, but Duress, not super likely to actually hit anything very important. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my Whirler Virtuoso down. Yeah. Could kill this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just not going to make a Thopter, and I'll look to Harness Lightning a big threat. Oh, this is tapping me wrong. Well, I can't Harness Lightning that. We may be in trouble here, because I'm not going to be able to stop them powering out their big threats soon anyway. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose this game if I don't draw some lands real fast. It's unfortunate. Yep, big scary dino. Okay, so what I can do here, this would be even better if I had checked out the auto tapping, because then I could also Harness Lightning the Regisaur Alpha, but this turn, but alas, it's not to be. Okay, better than nothing, still not great. I don't think this Duress is getting a lot better, so we might as well fire it off and hope. Nope. So yeah, I'm going to Harness Lightning, get to kill this. Still don't have an answer for this Carnage Tyrant. I kind of need a Scarab God ASAP. Wish I had my main deck Gonti, so Gonti could at least Death Touch block this, but we will do the best that we can. It's a little sad because this type of matchup really should be excellent. Opponent's deck is inherently threat light, because they've got so many mana sources that they can't get enough creatures to keep up with our removal spells, but the draw is just not lining up, and the mulligan didn't help either. Yep, we're dead. Well, let's see. Play Bolas, can't block, go low. Yeah, I'm just super dead. Okay, so what do we want against dinos? Gonti is great. Oh boy, is that all we have? I guess it is. I wish we had some big hard removal, but that's not in the cards. This is where I'm really getting punished for not having like a bunch of Doomfalls. It's possible that that's the direction this deck wants to go. Maybe the energy package isn't doing enough, and I should have just bigger, more solid answers like Doomfall. Also possible that I'm just being results-oriented and need to chill out and just admit that I need a Scarab God to beat the Carnage Tyrant. Oh, another fun note is another thing you can do about Carnage Tyrant is Commit to Memory is one of those really weird cards that doesn't actually counter. It puts the spell back, and so that can, if you get a Carnage Tyrant on the stack, you can send it back. Not have to worry about that. Opponent taking their time with sideboarding. Hopefully that doesn't mean they're going up to 30 million Carnage Tyrants, because I did not set up my deck to beat that card. And that's part of the problem with mid-range decks. I don't love this, but I like a lot of it. Search for Azcanta can help find us more lands, and these are some of our better cards. This can slow them down. They lead with an early mana dork. I think this is on the lower end of keepable. Get this, because it's going to come into play tapped either way, so next turn I can get my Search for Azcanta down. Okay. Get 2 more looks at a land, or we're going to start missing land drops. That will be the quickest way to lose this game. Need to at least get up to 4. Okay, I am going to kill this. It's not my favorite land to be on top, but it is a land, so I will take it. Just need to slow them down. I need to have a chance to develop myself. Okay. Communing. Okay, that is a thoroughly beatable dinosaur. Sweet. That's what I prayed for. Unfortunately, we don't have a real red source, so our energy is going to be heavily taxed that way, but that's fine. This is interesting, because it's going to be really hard to flip this Search for Azcanta, but that's fine. Just the think tank, the continuously filtering my draws, is probably good enough. This is probably also for eating their own guys to play around Scarab God. This card is so irritating. Whirler Virtuoso is very bad against Forerunner of the Empire. Interesting. Speaking of, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. So I'm just going to go on the offensive. Opponent putting a 3/4 on top. I guess they really, really want to get rid of Search for Azcanta. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start pressuring them. Playing this out, it doesn't like really do anything, because if I make Thopters, they're just gonna die, and I don't want to waste my 1 removal spell on the Forerunner. Oh. That's what's happening. Yeah, that's gonna be game over. I can't beat this. Yep. Kills my Bolas. Deck really needs like a Phyrexian Scriptures or something to win this matchup. Like, this is too ridiculous. I can't beat that. Graveyard, I guess, doesn't do enough on its own. Finally have a red source. I'm just gonna go ahead and concede this game. There's no way I'm coming back from this. But yeah, Dinos confirmed bad matchup for the cards that I have chosen. Okay, we are met with another Jace avatar. Sure. Removal plus Whirler Virtuoso and mana that works. Can't hope for anything more. I'm going to go ahead and lead on this so that my Drawn Catacomb will enter untapped. Yeah. People swear by this card, and sometimes it just seems like unbeatable. Like, if my opponent's on mono red, I'll be very glad to have it. But it's just so awkward or bad in a lot of other matchups. I'm pretty mad on Whirler Virtuoso. Card I'm not mad on, though, is Glintsleeve Siphoner. Half the time I want to play Whirler Virtuoso just, like, as an extra couple draws off my Glint Sleeves. That card is awesome. See if my opponent's also playing Grixis. They might just be playing, like, a bigger black-red deck. Because, the normal black-red deck does not play this card. But if they're playing more mid-range and less mono-red with a black splash, then it could be good. Okay, looking more and more like just black. Okay. Not gonna be able to get this one, so they are going to draw a card. I could blow Vraska's Contempt on it, but I don't think that's worth it. Okay. I'm just going to go aggressive here. They'll get to attack because I'm only putting on one blocker, and this has Menace, but I just want to pressure their life total out. I think I'm going to have a very aggressive and powerful curve. Opponent has the option to block. I can't imagine that that's what they would choose to do. Center running down. Let's see. So the obvious play is Bolas. Next turn I'll play the Scarab God. I'm trying to think what my opponent could do that would convince me to do something else. There isn't a whole lot, because they're only going to have 4 mana this turn. They can't even play like a Scarab God of their own. Maybe like a Rekindling Phoenix. I would Vraska's Contempt instead of the Scarab God. And like I said, it's possible that... Okay, they are playing Grixis. I think it's probably pretty similar to mine, if I had to guess. I suppose Bolas is another card that I would Vraska's Contempt and then just attack. But yeah. Okay. That's interesting. It's a little annoying, because it does kill my dragon, but the Thopter can just take care of it by itself. Okay. So, I think I did get too aggressive there. I think I should have, because this puts my opponent up to 2 energy, so they're gonna get to draw another card off of the Glint Sleeve Siphoner, which is not really how I want that to go. This, I'm not going to repeat the mistake though. I think I'm going to leave back 2 blockers and attempt to block the Glint Sleeve. I don't think I'm going to win this game by aggressing them. That said, they could very easily just Vraska's Contempt my Scarab God and get to attack me anyway. This is what I was hoping for. Land, please. Perfect. Yeah, this taps me adequately. This is why you want to be the guy who plays the first Scarab God, because my opponent is on the back foot and they are very far behind now. They've got 4 cards in hand, but yeah, this board state is just too bad for them. Okay. They have... If they can answer my Scarab God, this game isn't over. Because then I just have a mediocre board here and the Azcanta going, and they'll be up a lot of cards. This, though, is not good enough. Oh, they're braiding my Virtuoso? Interesting. Okay, this is actually... I keep forgetting to put a stop here. Crap. Missed my opportunity to get a scry. Yeah, so then I'll just go ahead and untap. And draw. Okay. Here I get to do to my opponent what they just did to me. Go ahead and kill this. Go ahead and apply pressure. They'll probably trade here, if I had to guess. No, chumping. Keeping their life total high. That's fine. End turn. What I'm probably actually going to do is either bring back their Glint Sleeve Siphoner to draw another card, or I could bring back a Whirler Virtuoso, make a Thopter, apply even more pressure. I think I like getting back Glint Sleeve. Okay, that is perfectly acceptable. Okay. They get their mana. I'm not sure what they're doing. Okay. Another Whirler Virtuoso, that is fine. This is kind of like what I was saying. There was a point where my opponent had 4 cards in hand and I had 0, and I still felt extremely likely to win this game. They're running out of cards in hand, and my board is just getting better. Let's see. This, I guess? Sure, that's fine. I am going to go ahead and activate the Scarab God again, taking one of their Whirler Virtuosos. Because now Search for Escanta goes. Sure, I'll put that on the library. I'm withdrawing that. Scry 2, bottom that swamp, I don't want that. I will take an action to draw an extra card, and draw for turn. Sweet. Oh, I messed this up a little bit. I was not paying attention to how it was tapping me. That's unfortunate. Go ahead and go to my main phase. Now, I will Harness Lightning Whirler Virtuoso, which unfortunately is going to cost me an energy. It's fine. I think I need to... I think leaving Chandra alive at 1 if they want to trade here is fine. They're going really low, and they're just going to get drained out by my Scarab God. Yeah, I figured they would do this anyway. They've been very aggressive about preserving their life total. They might not hear... Wow. This is what I least expected. Letting Chandra die for a Thopter? I would much rather have a Chandra on 1 loyalty than a Thopter. Yep. Okay. We both played Grixis Midrange. I answered their Scarab God, and they did not answer mine, and that's how that tends to go. Okay. Gonti, excellent. Bloodfast, excellent. Search for Escanta, fantastic. Probably want some number of negates, not too many. Harness Lightning, pretty bad. Braid, very bad. What am I at? 60 exactly. Yeah, leaving in 1 Harness Lightning as the removal spell that I have seems fine. This hurts me exactly as much as it hurts them, so I don't think that's what I want to do. Could bring in Plague Mares to deal with opposing Whirler Virtuosos, but I don't think that's exactly where I want to be. Fatal Push is awkward because it's not very good, except at killing Glint-Sleeve Siphoner, but I think that's really important. So, I think I'm going to run with this. There are a lot of little things I could play with, like getting the last Duress or the last Negate, or the Plague Mare also kills Glint-Sleeve Siphoner, so maybe that's worth doing. But I think this is what I'm going to run with. Oh man, we get to keep a 7? I mean, it's not a great 7, but it's got a lot of good stuff going on. Glint-Sleeve Sniper can hopefully draw us more lands. Would love to draw a Cycling Duel right here. Doesn't even matter which one. That is not even close. Oh well. Now the best draw is like an Aether Hub, so I get to Glint Sleeve and be able to draw a card the next turn. Oh well. We are in serious danger of just losing this game. Opponent mulliganed and we're on the draw, so we're up a lot of cards. They're not going... if the game goes really long, we'll be very ahead, especially with how good this hand is. But I need to hit a land. Okay. I think... I'm actually going to play the Search for Escanta. The Glint-Sleeve Siphoner is very likely to die, and it doesn't do anything as quickly, whereas Search can hopefully dig us into lands. We'll stop missing our land drops. Yeah, that's what I was really scared of. Almost just passed with Negate up, but I don't think that's a winning strategy. Sure. That is acceptable. Black. Colorless. Again, this is very likely to die and not actually accomplish anything, but I need to start playing to the board. Like, if my opponent plays a Scarab God here, it doesn't even really matter what I do. I'm probably just too far behind. But if they play something a little more mopey, maybe I can start applying pressure to the Chandra and answer what they're doing. Yeah, missing a land drop for 2 turns was very bad, but... Oh, wow. That's... Oh, that's horrifyingly awful. Opponent recouping all of that card advantage that I was talking about. Oh my gosh. Oh, and that gets to take our Vraska's Contempt, so we can't even Contempt. Wow, that was just atrocious for us. Graveyard, don't have time for that. Oh my god. Oh, these are so bad. Well, at least Chandra's not going to ultimate too quickly. Go ahead and stick this Virtuoso. And if they play a Scarab God, I'm probably just going to die, but we're somewhat in this game. We're on the back foot. And that's the tip of the day, viewers at home. In mid-range mirrors, don't miss your land drops. Which again is the reason why maybe this deck wants 26. I've already been over how this deck is not bad at finding its lands, and you also need to consider that without things like Glimmer of Genius, just really heavy card draw to pick up half your deck, you are very much at risk of flooding out. That's how mid-range decks lose a lot of games. And so, if you play 28 lands in this type of deck, but you don't have ways to draw lots and lots of cards, you're going to lose a lot to flooding out. You can't just draw 3 action cards in this type of deck. You need at least a few cards. Okay. Reasonable enough attack from our opponent. They are pressuring our life total significantly with Chandra, and unlikely to get too good of a block anyway. So, I don't get to draw a card if I do this, but I am going to make a Thopter because I want to continue applying pressure here. Okay, I made the correct decision since they were going to kill my Siphoner anyway. Alright, Azcanta, show me something good. Huh. Is that good enough yet? Because that applies a lot of pressure to Chandra and generates card advantage. And they clearly don't have one of the game-winning threats like the Scarab God. I'm actually going to keep that. That could lose me the game. But... yeah, I think this... it's like, even if I drew a land, like, these plays aren't that great on this board. I suspect they're holding... okay, maybe they weren't holding anything. But, like, if they just had a Vraska's Contempt for a Scarab God, then that didn't really generate enough of an advantage. What I'm hoping here is that they have nothing... okay. Oh, that was a good flip off Chandra. And is making me look like a total fool, because the Scarab God would not have died to that. At the same time, there's no guarantee that there's a land on top, even if I did choose to mill, so... is that good enough for the same reasons? I don't think so. Oh, especially because milling put me to exactly 7, so I get to flip Azcanta. That's the type of thing that I should have kept track of, but did not. So, I could run back the same play. I think I kind of like that again. Another Harness Lightning is not good enough, but Chandra just minusing is? Ugh. I really don't like how low my life total is getting, but I'm going to play the Scarab God. I'm going to pressure her down a little more. I might be killing my Thopter here. Yeah. This card is not that good against me, but... alright, Scarab God. I get to look at multiple cards here, so if they get to Vraska's Contempt this, I'm probably just too far behind. Must have hit a spell. They're deciding whether or not to cast it. Lightning Strike. Where's that going? This guy? Okay, they must have another removal spell in hand. Yep, Spit Flame. Interesting. I wonder... They gotta be playing Bolas, right? Like, the only reason to be doing this is if you have a dragon to pick it back up. Vraska's Contempt. Damn it! So she's still not going to ultimate. I think the best play is to just run it back. Just try again. Again, my life total's getting really low. They can threaten a lot of damage to me here. They hit something good off Chandra. Probably going to lose this game. This is like their last turn. Really do so, though. Okay. So. Angrath, not serving his normal function here, but he is going to save me. Thank you, Angrath. Okay, now I think we're heavily advantaged. Opponent has one turn to draw something really good, really. And then once I'm passing, yeah. This game is basically over now. I think they want to take care of this guy, yeah. Go ahead, get this down. I can tap for colorless, blue, red, black. Why does this open a big... Oh, because it's two different abilities. Oh, that's interesting. So because these have basic land types, it has tap for black or tap for red, and you have to choose. Whereas this has one ability where you choose on resolution. That is interesting. I'm getting this down. I just need to close this game. It's possible that activating Scarab God for Whirler Virtuoso is better, but I want to have the option of flipping this next turn. Like if they play like a Scarab God, I want to be able to get my sweet Planeswalker. And either way, I get to hold up Negate. Well, that's really bad for me. This was a fantastic draw. Gonna pitch this other Search for Escanta because it doesn't do anything. Huh. I'm probably not gonna get to untap with this dragon anyway, so I'm actually gonna block here. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw for turn. Let's see. This is approximately as good. It leaves me with an additional mana. So I can't really let this flip. I think that's going to lose me the game very quickly. So I'm going to Supreme Will and dig. Hopefully find a Vraska's Contempt for Bolas. Perfect. This is a sorcery. No, it's an instant. Wow. Okay, that's really good. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Contempt this now. If this was a sorcery, I was going to attack, and then I can wait for them to dump the mana in, and then kill this in response. But, interesting choice. I would have held on to that. I don't think having this in your graveyard is worth it. I suppose it denies me 2 life, but I think this game is going to be decided by my giant god who can't die. Yep. Again, I just need to untap here. Yeah. Now I have so many counters. And I'm just going to pass, hold up my counters. The Scarab God is lethal. A Whirler Virtuoso out of their yard is lethal. Or a bunch of ways for this to turn out well for me. Suppose, like, Vraska's Contempt on my Scarab God. Keep them alive. This also keeps them alive, but I think that's fine. Get your one Thopter, that's fine. Huh. Does flipping one of these do anything? Not really. I think Virtuoso's better. Make my Thopter. I am actually going to dig. If I can find removal spells and clear these. That does not count. Sure, why not? He looks for a removal spell. And that gets there. Okay. This one was a little tougher to close out, but again, the Scarab God is just kind of unbeatable if you get to keep on tapping with it. Okay, yeah, the client tends to lag out at the end of games. But, yeah, pretty pleased with how that turned out. Was able to do the mid-range thing against the other mid-range deck, which is one of the biggest tests. But, yeah, that was sweet, and I'll talk to you all later.